Good morning, everybody. It's Kylie from Hello Crafter and back with the 12 days of Craftmas Facebook Lives, 12 Facebook Lives over 12 days. And we're on day 4 today. So that's very exciting. Third of the way through. And had a really busy day yesterday, but I've managed to kind of prep my bits for my project. But I can't find my samples, so my samples are hidden somewhere in a big pile, which I just didn't have time this morning to sort through. So I definitely need help. It's gone beyond anything that I can like properly deal with right now. This room. I know you can't quite see the state of it in the video, which I'm not gonna show you because it would probably yeah. No, it's not a good look. But I'm going to get on with tidying a few bits up probably next week when things start to calm down just a little bit. But anyway, hello. I'm going to be doing a shaker card today, and I'd love to hear where you're from, where you're watching from. So if you're watching live, please say hi. We can chat, ask questions. All your comments are going to go into a prize draw at the end of the week. So yeah, I just want to encourage you to chat with me and to have fun and let me know what you think of the projects, and that would be great. I will reward someone with a prize at the end of the week, and I'll do the same next week as well. So I know there's a few people going to be watching later, so that still counts if you leave me a comment if you're watching on the catch up later on. I know there's quite a few of you working, so yeah, that's fine. Do that. So we've got our shaker card today, and what I'm going to be doing is using some papers. Now these papers are very, very beautiful, but they are currently unavailable. I think they should be coming back into stock, and I'll double check when that is. But for now, they are out of stock. But I've got enough of this to make up some kits. Limited supply, obviously. So if you are placing an order and the order is over £45, you're going to get a kit to make all these projects, and it's going to have some of this paper in. So that's a good little bonus because I've got enough to make up a few of these cards. This is the one though that I'm using today, this lovely red and gold. It's got like poinsettias, I'm assuming that's what they are, and other flowers on it and leaves, and it's kind of like tone on tone, I guess, what do you call it, monochrome, with some gold, but it's stunning paper. So this is going to be sort of what's on the front. To make the card base, I'm going to show you that because I'm taking an A4 full sheet of cardstock and I'm going to cut it down lengthways in half at 10.5 centimeters, and then turn it the other way, and I'm going to score it in half this way. That's 14.85, and then that's created a tenfold style card base. So instead of it opening normally like that, it'll open that way. And I just find that that's a nicer, oh, where's my bird holder? That's a nicer way for a shaker card. Well, I don't know, don't think it really matters, but for this style. So my shaker card is going to have a window that cuts all the way through my front layers. So I want to build up a few layers on here. I want a contrasting colour cardstock layer, which I think that's cherry cobbler. Yeah, it is. And then I'm going to put my paper on. So there's that layer, which is just 0.5 centimetre smaller than the card front, and then the paper will be another 0.5 centimetre, again smaller, to layer up, so you get this nice even border on all your layers. Look at that. And so I'm going to want to cut through all 3 layers, and I'm using, to make my shaker window, this lovely ornament shaped die. Just think it's lovely. That comes in the Ornamental Christmas Dies set. And again, I've used this loads. And to make a shaker card, you need a few things. You need some window sheet. This is like a thick acetate, so Stampin' Up sell this in sheets, 12 by 12 sheets, and it's lovely and thick. You need something quite strong, really. So I just cut this down to a little square that will go behind that, the ornament. And then you also need some foam. Strips are really useful because you don't need to put, you know, if you've only got little tiny foam pads, you'll need to use lots of them. But these foam strips, they're nice and deep, and so they leave a lot of space for your shakers, and they're really easy to use. They just come in sheets like this. You get 3 sheets in a pack, and they just come in lots of these little strips. Really, really convenient, these. So I always have a pack of these on hand. And then your shaker elements. And I couldn't find my stars, so I'm going for these sequins. I'll just have a quick look, see if they're in another box. No, can't find them. So Stampin' Up have a few different sprinkly thingies, and these ones are just like little tiny gold sequins. I love them. They're just, I don't know, they shake really well. And they also have these little gold star ones, which are actually even nicer. But I like, you know, the gold because it matches the gold in the paper. So that's what we need. I think that's it. So I'm going to glue my paper because I don't think I'm going to be able to cut through all of these 3 layers. I mean, I could try. Shall I try and see if it will go all the way through? It might do. I don't want it to be messy, but I'm going to try, because I can always, because it will cut the first layers and then I can always go through again. I'll show you anyway. Let's see what happens. So go. Oh no, I can't stick that on. No, that's not going to work. I've messed this up already. So this, because I can't go through, I can't stick out them all on, because I need to put my window sheet in between these 2. Okay, let's see if I can redo that. See, I make these mistakes so you don't have to. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to get a scrap of paper. Let's get a little scrap of card and cover that up. And you can pretend like I never did that bit, and then I'll make a new card base. I'll use that for something else. Right, okay. So I've stuck my paper onto my red card. And I've got my card base. I'm not going to stick it on. I'm not going to glue it on. I'm just going to tape it on so it doesn't move. So just grab a little bit of washi tape or something that you can just hold that down. Right, so hopefully that's not going to move anywhere. I'm going to try and attempt to cut through all 3 layers at the same time. Let's just put a little bit of tape on that and see what happens. So just line that up where you want the window. I'll just tap that down. Find my machine. Let's bring that up. Oh, hello. I've just seen your comments, Rebecca, Cheryl and Karen. Lovely to see you. I hope you're having a good day so far. So, right, putting that on my machine. I'm probably just going to go, oh, it's quite stiff, but it is going through, I think. I'm not going to take it all the way. I'm not going to take it all the way through, just up to where the dye goes through and then back again. And let's see if that has cut. No, it hasn't quite cut. And it's left some imprints from my very heavily used plates. And so I would actually probably, if I was to do that again, do it in stages, but I've just flipped it. Still not gone through. Right, so what you would do is do the red bit first. Let's just carefully take that off. It's all going wrong today, but it's fine, because then hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and do it the correct way the first time. So what I would do, even this is ripping now. Oh, it's a disaster. Yeah, that was a little bit too thick for the machine. I should have trusted my instincts first time and not been so lazy. Let's get rid of that. So I think it's cut through these layers fairly easily. So what I would then do is line up this with the card base, pop the dye in, and then just run it through again. So it's only cutting through one layer. So that's what I should have done the first time round. Okay, so now it's, oh, it has cut, it's just a little bit sticky. But it's okay. Right, let me run that through again. I'll run that through just on its own. Oh dear. No, it hasn't cut through that top and bottom. Okay. I think it's because the that quite thick layer was in the way. So I mean, it looks a little bit messed up, but it's fine because it's going to be covered. So yeah, that's fine. That'll do. And that'll go right back on there like that. So what we can do now is stick our window sheet down. We need 2 bits of window sheet. Yep. That's yeah, I forgot that second bit. I'll just grab another piece. There we go. We need to put window sheet on the back of each of these now. Oh, I've just realised what happened. That's why it didn't work as well as my sample. Because I stuck an extra sheet on. Yeah, to hide the glue. Yeah, that's why. So you won't be doing that. So yours will work. Yours will work perfectly like mine did the first time. So put the glue, just dot the glue around the bauble, and just give it a minute to dry. Just because it's sticking to this shiny sheet, and it'll just take a little bit longer to dry, that's all. Okay, but now, so this will go on there, but we need to raise it up with some of the foam sheets to create a little cavity, I guess, for the sprinkles. And then, so what we do is take the window the strips and just form a little, you could do it square, you could kind of bend them a little bit round so they are following the shape of the bauble a little bit more. And then the only thing you need to be aware of at this stage is making sure there are no gaps where your sprinkles might fall out. So once you've kind of enclosed that, you can add a few more foam strips, not too close to the edge, you don't want to be able to see them, but just enough that it can kind of keeps the height level across the whole of the card front. So I'll just do a couple more. That should be enough. Just get rid of that little excess bit. Okay, I never know whether to put my sprinkles in before I've unpeeled. I think I will. You have to be really careful at this stage. So your sprinkles are going to go in here, and then just make sure nothing's stuck to the foam pads, and then carefully peel off the backings. Just be really careful at this stage because these sprinkles can go flying. And they frequently have done in my craft room when I've been doing these. Okay, now you can very carefully, with your head right over the top, just start to lower that down in place. And now you have this window shaker, and it opens up and it's completely see-through. So now we have to work out what we're doing for the inside, and I just need to cut a piece of cardstock. I'm going to do white in the back, and I'm going to cut it to the same size as that red layer, and then that'll go in the back. So I want to be able to stamp there, so I'm just going to do a couple of little pencil marks where, I'll tell you what I could do. Is just lay that in. Right, glue this down first. I'm just going to go for it, so you can just sort of tack it down, just so that you can stamp first, but that's about in the right place. I'm just going to make a little pencil mark because that's where I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I'm going to use the one, this Merry Christmas, this nice big one. I've got my red ink. I'm going to use the same cherry cobbler to match the cardstock and the papers, and I'm just going to stamp that in there. And that comes up in there, and then just erase those lines. There you go. And then you can embellish this further. So in that die set you have the little tops for the baubles. You actually get two of those dies. So I'm actually going to cut those out with some gold card. I'll just do that on the floor. Put those back. That's what they look like. Very cute. And then I'll put that on with a dimensional. And I've got some retired gold. This is like really thin gold ribbon, and I just love it. So I haven't got much left of it now, so I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of this. But that's like the perfect size ribbon for this, to add a little bow. And I don't know where my glue dots are, so I'm using a little bit of tear and tape. Put that on there. There we go. And then with this, I thought I would just share a bonus project. This is not going to be in your 12 days kit. It's just something an idea that you can use with this. So I've got a card base and some white card, and that will go on here like that. But first of all, I've seen this and I've done this in one of my classes, and just some scoring, decorative scoring. I don't know if you've seen that. So I've got my scoreboard out. It's approximately 3 3/4, and about halfway would be 1 7/8. So I'm just going to do a score line down the centre, and then I'm just going to go the next notch next to it and the next notch next to that. Sorry, either side of that centre one. And then I'm just going to go the 2 sides again. That makes 5. And then the next 2 again, that makes 7. Just do 7. I think that looks like quite a nice little band. When you turn it over, you get this like slightly corrugated effect, but just in the centre of the card. I think it looks quite nice. So that will very simply get glued onto the slightly larger white layer. You just think these extra layers are such a simple way to make a card look a little bit more put together, if that makes sense, a little bit posher. It's just so simple, just an extra little piece of card. So really simple background. You've got your bauble. Put that on with a few dimensionals. Yes, Julia, you know it. I wonder what else can go wrong today. I just maybe I ought not to have that kind of attitude. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be an amazing day, and everything's going to go right. I'm going to get all of my work done. And it's going to be great. So another little bow, I think, on here. Where's me? Another tiny little bit of tear and tape. And I might add a few of these little embellishments. So take your pit tool, a few little dots of glue, teeny tiny ones. And pick up these sequins with your little sticky end there. And 3 little sparkly sequins, and then rather than stamp something on there, I'm going to use these. These are like, I think this is my favourite of all of the Christmas products that Stampin' Up! Have brought out this year. The Joyful Sayings ephemera pack. They're amazing. They're gold foiled, all the sentiments done for you. You get 6 sheets in a pack, absolutely tons. You've got season's greetings, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. Every one of these is perfect for adding to your cards and projects, 3D projects, all sorts. Some of them are really lovely and big, these joy ones. Gorgeous. So I'm just going to do probably one of these little smaller ones, I think. They're self-adhesive as well. You have to be really careful about peeling the backing off because they bend. They're quite substantial. They're thicker than normal cardstock, but they can bend. So and you get in the center of each one, you get a little kind of crease join where you have to peel from. But I actually I don't really like using them. I prefer to use the foam pads and have them kind of slightly raised. These foam strips come in handy on these smaller thin sentiments. And I can just add a little one there. So that was your bonus, what you can make with your cutout. There you go. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. That was like a little bit chaotic, so sorry about that. I'm going to really try to be more organised tomorrow. I'm going to find all my sample projects amongst this carnage of my craft room, and we will continue with day 5 tomorrow at noon. I can't wait again. I'm really enjoying coming live and crafting with you. Thank you so much for all your comments. Yeah, you might as well rewatch later when you've got a little bit more time. Like, that's what most people are doing, and that's completely fine. But have a really good rest of your day, everybody. If you do want to place an order and get the project kits for free, it's £45, but you'll get the PDF instructions for all of the projects with a £25 order or more. So there's a little bonus for all orders over £25, and you've got a choice of a free gift as well, also with a £45 order. So yeah, that's my little special. But yeah, there'll be some little prizes coming over the weekend. So keep commenting, keep sharing, and yeah, it's been nice to chat with you. See you later. Have a great day, everyone.